Hello my fellow viewers and welcome to another reaction video. Today I'm going to react to Watchmojo's The Top 10 Weird Celebrity Phobias, because why not? Sounds like I've never seen this before and it sounds like it might be funny. So let's see some weird celebrity phobias, like, what is it, Channing Tatum or whatever that has a phobia of dolls. I think he was on like Ellen DeGeneres' show, and then she's like has a doll and Channing Tatum is like freaking out. I think that's how it was, or who it was. Could be wrong. Anyway, let's jump right into this in 3, 2, 1, play.
You never know what'll scare the pants off a person, even if it's something bizarre.
Ready? Just grab it. Don't think about it. Try not to think about it, huh?
Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 weird celebrity phobias. For this list, and across the wide spectrum of celebrities, we found and ranked the oddest and most irrational of fears held by popular figures, ranging from actors and actresses to musicians and even television personalities.
Oh, really?
We're excluding more common and seemingly rational phobias like Howie Mandel's fear of germs.
I wouldn't touch this because a lot of people have touched that. This is actually my nightmare.
Reptiles, Britney Spears.
Really? Really?
For someone so willing to perform with a python around her shoulders, Britney's not so brave around other reptilian species. The longtime pop star has discussed her reflexive fear of lizards and reptiles in the past, claiming that she can't even think about a Komodo dragon without freaking out.
What the heck was that? What was that?
Settled by animals, but not even being able to think about them? That's a bit extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure.
Butterflies.
Nicole Kidman's afraid of butterflies.
So tiny and yet so menacing. It's possible famed actress Nicole Kidman thinks this way, as she has an established case of lepidopterophobia, or in layperson terms, a fear of butterflies.
God forbid butterfly comes into my sight. I'll run screaming and look totally unprofessional. I could even lose my job.
Kidman's struggles with these winged devils supposedly began in her youth, where she would go to elaborate means to avoid a large butterfly that might happen to be sitting...
Okay, I can understand something just jumping in front of you or flying at you like a bee or a wasp or something, but a butterfly?
You want to frighten us. You want to get us out, me and my children. You've wanted to take over this house ever since the first day you arrived.
That might be it.
Cemeteries, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay, that's
It's nice. It's a little
that's
dark,
not too bad. Butterflies was weird.
Irony knows no bounds, it seems. As the titular star of the series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar had battled more than a few undead characters in her time, which makes it amusing that her greatest fear is being in a cemetery. Specifically, she fears being buried alive in a grave.
What are you doing? Burying you. I'm alive! I'm alive! You're waking the neighbors! Shut up!
Something which came to pass against her wishes while filming an episode of Buffy.
Oh.
I understand her misgivings. The fact remains that her phobia stands in humorous opposition to the persona she typically displays.
From now on, I am only going to hang out with the living. I mean, lively people.
Number 7. Swimming pools and houseplants, Christina Ricci.
What? Okay, swimming pools I can understand, but houseplants?
She has found herself in more than a few odd roles, but it's her fears that might be more notable. For one thing, Christina has an issue with swimming pools. She believes that should she swim in a pool, a shark will be released and will try to attack her.
What? In a swimming pool
Also gone
with chlorine.
Her disdain for houseplants, finding them dirty and therefore repulsive. There are just some things that can't be made up.
I really like the smell of tobacco.
Really? You're a very controversial creature.
Number 6. Pigs, Orlando Bloom.
Be quiet.
Like most people,
Maybe if it's boars, I can understand.
The leading man panics when the object of his fear gets anywhere near him.
A pig?
What is it that sets him off? Pigs. You know, cute little curly-tailed piggies like Babe.
Our mom called us all the same.
And what was that, dear?
She called us all babe.
Sounds Sounds like a pretty serious phobia too, because apparently he ran away screaming when one got loose on the set of his film Kingdom of Heaven. Hopefully his agent doesn't try to set him up for a live-action Animal Farm remake.
Into the day when pigs own and operate farms everywhere.
Number 5. Antique furniture, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, I have a phobia about antiques, certain kinds. Anything before 1950 or so, I'm not big on.
Speaking of odd things, try to wrap your head around this. Billy Bob Thornton has
He ran away screaming from a pig.
Awards, and
I have a show there.
7 in total.
These days, you get in a lot of trouble no matter what you say. You know what I mean? You could say anything in the world and get in trouble. I know this for a fact. So I'm just going to say thank you.
He makes at least one film per year, and he's pursued a musical career on the side.
Angelina, what's come between us?
Oh, and he isn't fond of old furniture. Apparently,
Okay.
he has a particular issue with furniture made before 1950. He's unable to even be in the same room as such antique items.
Some people say maybe it's a past life thing and I got beat to death with some old chair. I don't know.
He does seem to have made his peace with the fear.
Just understand that it's a fear and not let that fear cause you to behave in certain ways.
Number 4.
Like being afraid of a pig.
Pamela Anderson.
Hey, handsome. Want some company?
What was it? Did it say nudity in Pamela Anderson?
There's not wanting to seem self-absorbed, and then there's this. Canadian-American actress Pamela Anderson, known for starring on the show Baywatch and in the film Barbed Wire, has something of a limitation. She's uncomfortable around mirrors.
Mirrors, okay.
Her appearance pushes her buttons.
I'm ready, man. I'm back.
Which would
Mirrors.
explain why she also avoids watching herself on TV. When you're leaving rooms and having people shut TVs off to avoid your own image, you know it's an honest-to-goodness phobia.
Okay, mirrors.
Number 3. Revolving doors and tunnels, Matthew McConaughey.
Really?
You want to hear this or not?
This is a combination we couldn't have predicted. Mr. McConaughey, an award-winning actor on television and in film, has a pair of grievances that appear rooted in a desire not to get trapped in tight spaces.
I know this can be a very scary thing. I know
So it's not claustrophobia, though.
But what we would like to do is to impress upon you the gravity of your situation.
He's not exactly fond of revolving doors, but he takes greater issue with driving through tunnels. Matthew has commented about a 10-foot blind spot that occurs when people enter a tunnel, finding it personally unsettling and potentially a hazard. Number 2.
Okay.
Dark Water, Natalie Wood.
Coming up, Natalie Wood's worst fear is realized.
Dark
Is
water?
there a line we need to draw with this one? The late Natalie Wood found great success as a film actress.
That could make sense. Who knows what's in dark water?
Negative thought hanging over her head. A fear of dark water. For years,
Pigs.
Natalie dreaded going into water, even being uncomfortable in her
Sorry.
swimming pool.
Sorry.
It's dangerous.
It didn't help that Natalie's mother was said to have predicted Natalie would die in such water. A prophecy that was unfortunately proven true.
Ooh.
Determined that she had fallen into the water while trying to retie the dinghy to the yacht. The actress's
Jeez.
shocking death ignited a frenzy of morbid speculation and gossip in the media.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Thunder, Madonna.
You can't see a sea
Googling yourself, getting arrested, cynics, earwigs, and sea urchins, Taylor Swift.
It goes into whatever it touches, and then you have to go to the emergency room, and it has to be surgically removed.
What? Sunshine, Bright Colors, and Children, Woody Allen.
To sunny LA. All of show business is out there, Max.
No, I cannot. You keep bringing it up, but I don't want to live in a city where the only cultural advantage is that you can make a right turn on a red light.
Number 1. Chewing gum and balloons, Oprah Winfrey.
Balloons, I can understand balloons, but chewing gum?
Oprah Winfrey has perhaps the
maybe.
oddest of phobias. First and foremost, she suffers from chicklophobia, the fear of chewing gum.
No. Yes, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Yes, and I'm going to tweet it out.
As a child, Oprah was so disgusted by her grandmother saving gum in a cabinet that she instituted a no-gum policy at her workplace. Oprah is also less than comfortable with balloons, finding that the popping sound is too much like gunshots for her liking.
So the only thing keeping me from getting what I want is the story I keep telling myself about why it can't happen.
Exactly right.
Do you agree with our list?
That's how you know you're famous.
What odd celebrity phobias caught your eye?
Anyway,
I
no,
don't know.
The fear, but I have to do it all the time, and I do.
For more brow-raising top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to Watchmojo.com.
It's a thing. Everybody's doing it now.
Alright, okay. Sorry. Okay, so let me go over these real quick. Just so I could just be a little bit here. Okay. So, some of them were kind of weird and stuff of that nature, I guess, but some of them were just plain hilarious. So, let's see if we can potentially... Okay. Okay, reptiles. Reptiles, Britney Spears. Okay. Yeah. I can kind of see that. I mean, who knows? I mean, poor Britney Spears. But yeah, she's not afraid of snakes, but she's like afraid of Komodo dragons and other stuff. I'm not sure that makes any sense, but yeah, I can understand why that would be very weird and stuff. So. Yeah, kind of weird. The butterfly thing was pretty hilarious with Nicole Kidman. I mean, I can kind of understand why people would be afraid of insects and stuff of that nature, but butterflies? Then again, I think there's a gamer YouTuber out there that's afraid of caterpillars or doesn't like caterpillars. I think it's Jacksepticeye who's like, ugh, caterpillars, ugh, or something of that nature. So yeah. I mean, I can understand something just running at you or flying at you and you freaking out as a result because you don't know what the hell it is. But a butterfly? I don't know. I think I'd be fine with the butterfly crawling on my arm, you know? I do have a little problem with things touching me and crawling all over me. It's not really a fear. It's just that I don't like things touching me. I mean, I can enjoy an insect from a distance, but when it's like crawling on my arm or something, it's very... The feeling when it crawls along my arm is like very creepy and stuff, so I don't really like that. Okay, so after that, do we have the funniest one? I'm sorry. Oh, no, okay. Cemeteries for Sarah Michelle Gellar. I can see how that would be weird because she did play Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and a lot of the things that happen in a show like that could revolve around a cemetery, like if you're raising the dead or trying to destroy a vampire. I can kind of understand that being buried alive or being in a cemetery would be a little hard on a person. I mean, cemeteries do kind of are creepy at night, you know. I'm sure during the day it's fine, but if you're night and there's like crickets chirping and there's like a soft wind or a harsh wind, and you hear weird footsteps and you can't identify it, I can see how cemeteries could be creepy. So that one I'm not going to quite have a problem with. Christina Ricci's fear of house plants and swimming pools. Swimming pools, I'm not really sure. Chlorine, I don't see how there could be a shark release. I don't know if sharks can be in swimming pools. I don't know if chlorine is deadly to sharks and fish and stuff of that nature, but I would assume so. Houseplants, all that was said was that she was repulsed by them, and that's fine. Dirty, disgusting, repulsive, or whatever. But I can understand that because apparently she likes the smell of tobacco or something of that nature. So yeah, I guess she is kind of weird. Or whatever. Okay, so then we get into the funniest one, the pigs. I'm sorry that I laughed. That one was just too funny. I'm sorry, I'm just imagining someone like Orlando Bloom trying to make a movie like the thing that was shown in Watchmojo, and then all of a sudden a pig comes onto set, and then Orlando Bloom screams and runs away. I'm sorry, that is hilarious. I mean, if it was a boar, I can understand that, because I think boars can be deadly. I think they can, like, really cut into you with their tusks and stuff. And you could, like, bleed out and die. And I can understand if it was a boar, but a cute little itty-bitty, normal, domestic pig thing. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I'm going to have to rewatch my reaction just to see how funny that is, because that is funny. So then we get into Bob Thornton and his fears of antique furniture. But how would you know that it's actually antique furniture? That would actually be interesting to study. I mean, does he become afraid when he knows that it's antique furniture? Or does he just decide that it's antique furniture and then is afraid? I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. So let's move on. So then we get into mirrors and Pamela Anderson, apparently. I can understand why people might be afraid of mirrors. I can understand looking in a mirror and looking at your reflection. I can see how people might think that might be scary, because who knows, maybe the world isn't quite as it seems. Maybe you're in a horror movie and maybe something will come at you and jump out and hurt you or whatever. And maybe she just doesn't really want to see herself, you know. I can understand that. She just wants to be herself. She wants to be kind of like narrow-minded in the sense that she just wants to be progressive and stuff, and she doesn't want to look back and say, oh no, I had a giant zit on my face when I did that interview for whatever thing. So I could, but a fear, probably just a dislike or not like or disdain, a hate of mirrors. I can understand about that, but an actual fear, I don't know. Matthew McConaughey, revolving doors and tunnels. I don't know about revolving doors. It's kind of hard to imagine why anyone would be afraid of that unless you have like motion sickness and you don't like the feeling of revolving around. But of course, if it was just revolving doors, then that would be kind of weird, because there are other things that make that motion, like the I don't know, a tilt-a-whirl. No, it's it's a merry-go-round at a playground, and you get on it, and someone like pushes you, and it goes around. So revolving doors, kind of weird. I guess because it's enclosed, I could kind of see why. And tunnels, well, I suppose I can understand that. I actually could understand that, because tunnels are enclosed and they're so long, and I can understand that maybe if it's too long that maybe something will happen. Like I can see how someone might get bored for the monotony of there just being a very long tunnel and then nothing, just lights going on. And I can see how they might get hypnotized a little bit and lose control, slide around, hit another car and cause a wreck. I can kind of understand that a little bit. And number 2, this Natalie Wood and Darkwater Girl. Yeah, I can't actually empathize with her, but I can understand, because Darkwater, you know, you don't know what's under there. You could like go deep, and then all of a sudden your foot gets stuck on something, and then you probably will drown, and you can't exactly see. And then if you're in dark water, no one else will be able to see you. But I guess that goes along with just regular water. I can understand why people would have a fear of water in general, because you can drown. I mean, there have been people who drowned, and unless you're a good swimmer and stuff. And the weird thing was that she actually drowned as well, so maybe her fear isn't weird or unjustified as you think, because she actually died in the dark water, or water in general. So I don't know if there's anything to mention in the honorable mentions. Thunder, Madonna, or whatever. Children, Win Yourself, Getting Arrested. Cynics, Earwigs, and Sea Urchins, Taylor Swift. I don't know. So then let's go into the final one. Let's go with chewing gum and balloons. Chewing gum, I don't know. I mean, well, the way Watchmojo explained it, I can't understand why Oprah Winfrey would be afraid of chewing gum. I mean, after all, we're talking about someone just keeping gum in their their cupboard or something, and then like being afraid of that. Why are you hoarding all the gum? Why don't you eat it? Why don't you do something? I can't understand that. But if you're afraid that you're probably going to choke on the gum, like you're just chewing and then all of a sudden it just slides down your throat and ends up choking and you can't quite clear your esophagus, I can understand being afraid of chewing gum in that instance. Balloons, the noise, the popping noise, I can understand. I can understand really freaking out about a balloon firing because you might think it's a gun and you might be afraid of if there is a gun being shot, that it might be someone might be injured, someone you care about, someone you love. Like if Oprah Winfrey was in her house with her like family members or something, and then she heard a popping balloon, she might be a little worried and fear would rush in because maybe one of her family members was probably her or even herself. So balloons popping, I can actually understand why people would be afraid of that. You know, it really is the loud noises that probably gets you. I don't know if she's quite afraid of just balloons themselves or just the fact that they pop or whatever. But anyway, I guess this pretty much is it. This is pretty funny. I thought it was pretty amusing, especially the pig. Orlando Bloom, if we ever meet, I'm going to be carrying a pig and I'm going to be throwing it at you just to see you run away and scream. I'm just kidding. Anyway, thank you for watching my particular reaction on this particular video. I will see you in my next reaction. This is all I have to say on this particular subject in this particular video. I'm D-Man Dustin, and I'm signing off.